Sir, please stop kicking the wall.
Who are you to talk to me like that, you bloody peasant?
The guard who'll throw you out if you kick that wall one more time. Insist if you must, but Viscount Dumas will see no one. If you've news of Seamus, I will relay it to him.
Fine. Tell Dumas my scouts have tracked the boy and his Canary captor to the wounded coast. I'm taking a full company after them, and when I return, I expect him to make a show of the reward.
So many to deal with one Kunari seems excessive.
He may be Talvashoth. The Winters leave nothing to chance. Get out of my bloody way!
Yes, what is it?
If this is about a rescue, that woman did not seem the type.
She is the type I feared we would attract. As I told the others, Viscount Dumas' son, Seamus, is missing. We suspect he was taken by a Kunari. If you would like to try your hand at securing his safe return, feel free. I have certainly granted no exclusivity to the Winters and their violent approach.
I should know about the competition.
The Winters out of Navarra. They don't care one whit if Seamus is returned unharmed. Their lead, Sirrah Guinness, is hungry for a foothold in fair Kirkwall. And frankly, we have enough of their kind.
There must be suspicions about why the boy went missing.
Why? What have you heard?
Nothing. Until now.
There is truly nothing known. He is gone, and there have been sightings of a Kunari. The only complication is that Seamus is known to be of a sympathetic mind. He may have placed himself in danger, but it is danger nonetheless.
The Kunari are not wild in the city. Petition their leader for the boy's return.
The Arishok has declared that it is not his role to do so. Apparently their rebels, the Talvashoth, are hunted anyway, killed for what they are, not for what they may have done. That does not bode well for Seamus.
This isn't a task for a guardsman.
Yes, isn't it?
There is a concern of appearance. If we used guards, it would allow Viscount Dumas' opponents to say this admits the Kunari threat because the city responded. In these times, public embarrassment is preferable to official embarrassment.
Ready the reward. He'll be back in no time.
Declare it if you like, but the reward goes to whomever brings him back safe. A discussion you are welcome to have with the Winters, should you encounter them, on the wounded coast.
The Viscount must be terribly busy. I've been waiting most of the day.
Not much room in the barracks, but there's nowhere I'd rather be. There's Jevon's office. Wait while I explain our initiative.
I don't know how they do it where you're from, guardswoman, but I decide the patrols, not you and your whims. You may have been put up for lieutenant in your first year, but I'll have no show-offs in my command. Have I made myself clear? Report to your post before I have you and your Ferelden accomplice jailed.
Well, what a charming fellow.
I don't have to like him, but he could at least listen. Bandits are dead. That's all that should matter. It's not the first time he's made me wonder like this. Something is very wrong.
This is probably a bad time to discuss my bill with him.
He'll jail you. I don't doubt that. The rest, though... Well, the duty roster will have my next patrol. Sounds like I'll have plenty of time to follow you around. Threaten my friends. Not letting that one go, Captain.
We should move on.
Avelin! I owe you for clearing that ambush the other night. Saved me a mess of trouble.
Brennan, that route was yours?
It was. Single patrol. I'd have been dead for sure.
A lone guard isn't much of a patrol.
Shouldn't need to be. That route was clear for weeks. First noise out of it was your big fight. The captain reassigned me after he heard what you did, and I passed the satchel to Donnick for his patrol tonight.
The satchel?
Pay and order assignments. Captain has us run deliveries to the outposts during light duty. It's usually just an updated copy of the roster. The satchel for that night was heavy, though. Anyway, thanks again, Avelin. You're a good one.
So the satchel gets heavy the same day we discover an ambush?
You're sure you want to pursue this? This is your superior we're talking about.
If a guard has been put at risk, a good captain would want to know why. And if he's not a good captain, I want to know why.
I bet there's a perfectly reasonable lie that explains why your captain arranged this.
I'd be willing to hear it, but not while a guard may be walking into a trap. Brennan said Donnick. A good man. Donnick. I've got his route. A night walk in Lowtown. Let's go make sure his quiet patrol stays that way.
The Viscount must be terribly busy. I've been waiting most of the day.
We can't waste time, Hawk. Guardsman Donnick is here somewhere.
Leave nothing. It must be clean, with no ties. Hawk. It was Hawk, right? From the streets. You took the Kunari from the city? Without incident?
You know what we faced.
Mind your tongue, Ferelden.
Please, do speak your mind.
Don't string me along. You know that I know.
Whether you believe it or not, I wished you no harm. That might have been useful for someone, but still regrettable. A massacre of citizens protecting a slave might have forced the Chantry to doubt appeasement, to see the Kunari for the monsters they are. Perhaps finding the mage was a rushed opportunity. If such a plot existed, I see how it might be disagreeable to you.
Your Ketogen killed himself rather than be free.
I assumed he wanted to escape, just as I would. My pity is genuine, but they are not like us.
I want no part of your little war. Pay me what I'm due.
Take your coin. Disappear back into Lowtown. Rest assured, I will not make the mistake of looking for help outside the Faithful again. The stakes, eternity, are just too high.
You'll be hearing from that one again.
We must be getting close to the ambush. I'm not losing another guard.
Who? Avelin? You're beautiful sight.
Guardsman?
I mean, I was on patrol and they came out of nowhere. I took a few down, but there were too many at once. The captain said this route was supposed to be quiet.
The seal of the Viscount. Office details, city accounts.
Valuable to a guild of thieves.
A sacrificial delivery with one of our own. Captain Jevon will answer.
Selling out his own. Forget guard captain. This man needs to be in government.
Not now, Hawk. Jevon needs to see how justice works. This goes to the office of the Viscount. This will be known. The captain likes his thieves so much. Let's see if they welcome him in
I hear they got your boy Fenrisa locked up in the circle. Oh, bad business that.
Get back!
Thank you. I thought them coterie men had me for sure. I guess the whole thing was a trap. There were no dwarves when I went to make the trade, just coterie waiting to kill us. They got the rest of the boys. I ran. I was hoping they wouldn't find me here, but they did.
Is that Athenril's rival criminal guild or something?
More like she's their rival. A small one at that. What I hear is the coterie controls most crime in Kirkwall, and they don't like competition.
So will you be running home to tell Mama crime doesn't pay?
My mama was ripped in two by one of them big horned darkspawn. It's just me and my sisters now. Working for Athenril's the only way to feed the girls.
Why not take what Athenril gave you, and start fresh somewhere outside of Kirkwall?
What do you mean?
Most farmers will always take extra hands for the field, or girls for the kitchen.
My father was a farmer, before the darkspawn got him. I'd rather do that than work for Athenril. I'll get my sisters. Please, make sure she doesn't come after us.
You owe us, Isabella.
Well, Lucky, I'll tell you what. Since the information you gave me was worth nothing, that's what I'll pay you.
Me and my boys will get our money's worth, bitch.
Oh, you poor sweet thing. Tell me, Lucky, is this worth dying for? I didn't think so. And here I thought the only men in this place were besotted fools who couldn't hoist the mainsail.
When you talk about hoisting the mainsail, what do you really mean?
What else could it mean? It requires strength, knowledge of rigging, and a small measure of sobriety.
I know my way around rigging just fine. And I'm good with my hands.
Oh my. I'm Isabella. Previously Captain Isabella. Sadly, without my ship, the title rings a bit hollow. You're Ferelden, aren't you? You have that look about you. I was in Denerim not too long ago. I even met the hero of Ferelden, if you know what I mean. You know, you might be just what I'm looking for to solve a little problem I have.
Can't anyone fix their own lives around here?
Must be something in the water. Someone from my past has been pestering me. I've arranged for a duel. If I win, he leaves me alone. But I don't trust him to play fair. I need someone to watch my back.
What makes you think I'm right for this?
You saw me talking to Lucky, didn't you? Those boys couldn't manage simple information gathering. I can't trust the riffraff in this place to do anything right. But you're different.
Who's this person you've arranged to meet?
His name is Hader. We worked together back in Antiva. He's never liked me. He's been asking about me all around Kirkwall. Thought I'd get it over with and meet him face to face.
You wanted information from Lucky. What was it?
I asked Lucky and his boys to track down something I lost. They failed to do it. It's nothing to worry about, and this is much more important.
Why a duel?
I like duels. It's what I do. And if I win, he'll be dead. Problem solved.
I think I could manage watching your back.
I'll bet. I've arranged to meet Hader in Hightown after dark. I'll meet you there.
So, I've been dying to know. What was going through your head when you fought that ogre?
For the first few seconds, what do they feed those things?
I don't know anyone else that's even seen one. You're lucky just to be standing here. Somehow, Hawk, I imagine things won't be dull with you around. Not that I expect the deep roads to be boring, mind you. Constant threat of doom does tend to keep you awake.
Anything in particular I should know about your brother?
To understand Bartrand, you've got to understand the Dwarven Merchants Guild. These are dwarves who would sell their mothers if they thought it'd get them a better share of the lyrium market. Anyone who deals with them has to sleep with a knife under their pillow. In my family, that's Bartrand.
What are your plans for this trip into the deep roads?
Bartrand's running the show. Andraste's ass, he'd probably do that even if we weren't paying for everything. The tide we're looking for is supposed to be a week's travel from the surface, so I hope you aren't scared of the dark. We've got supplies, muscle, excavators. The plan is to carry out everything that's not nailed down.
If we'll be working together, I should find out more about you.
True enough. I suppose you ought to know my credentials. My family came from Orzammar, Noble House Tethras, until my father got caught fixing provings. He and our whole house got exiled. No huge loss. I was born up here. Sunshine suits me just fine.
Are you a merchant? A mercenary?
I'm a younger son. It's a difficult and dangerous profession. A lot of us die of boredom. Fortunately, being Bartrand's younger brother keeps me on my toes. Maker knows he lacks subtlety. I'm the one who pulls strings to keep the coterie out of our hair. Keep us just a whisker ahead of the other families.
A lot of things can keep you awake, you know. I wouldn't reach for the doom first.
Sure, I could have a cup of tea in the morning, but I hear it's bad for you. I've spent my whole life in Kirkwall. Dangerous enough most days, but it doesn't compare to the deep roads. So, this will be... let's just call it an adventure, I guess.
Great. Now we're adventurers.
There you are. I've been here for hours. Ada hasn't shown up. No one has. I don't like this.
I don't like this. That's right up there with what could possibly go wrong.
That's the wench we're looking for. Gut her.
Ada sent them. Search the bodies. I need to find out what... Hiding in the chantry and sending thugs to finish me off? Coward. He'll not get away with this. Come on.
Isabella, should have known you'd find me here.
Tell your men to burn the letters next time.
Castillon was heartbroken when he heard about the shipwreck. You should have let him know you survived.
It must have slipped my mind.
Where's the relic?
I lost it. Castillon's just going to have to do without.
Lost it? Just like you lost a ship full of valuable cargo?
They weren't cargo, Hader. They were people.
Those slaves were worth 100 sovereigns a head, and you let them scurry off into the wilds. And now the relic's gone too. Castillon won't be happy to hear that. I promise you.
Will someone explain what's going on?
Isabella's been a very bad girl. Ruined a perfect business deal, and then ran away. She didn't tell you?
I told him enough.
Somehow I doubt it.
I said I arranged for a duel, which I did. I also said you wouldn't play fair, which you didn't. We can talk later if you want. Right now, we have other problems.
Castillon isn't a very happy person, is he? Maybe he needs a new hobby.
There's only one way to settle this.
Stab first? ask questions later.
Trust me, it's better this way. Castillon won't hear about me from Hader, but he'll find me eventually. I just have to get him the relic. It's simple as that.
Who is Castillon?
He's a powerful merchant based in Antiva. I believe he has ties to the Felicissima Armada. I used to work for him. The jobs mostly involved smuggling lyrium, jewels, or the occasional criminal acquaintance. He paid well.
What's this about you freeing slaves?
I was asked to escort Castillon's cargo ship. I got a bad feeling about the job partway through. Boarded the ship to find slaves. Nearly 200. Elves, humans, children even. It was sickening. They paid Castillon to take them away from the Blight. He took their money and sold them into slavery. Even I know that's wrong. Didn't expect that, did you, Guardsman?
What's so interesting about the relic?
I don't really know what it is, except that it's ancient and worth my weight in gold. Castillon has me chasing it down as payback for freeing his slaves. To be honest, I think he just wants me dead, but that would be letting me off easy.
You hired Lucky to track down information on the relic?
That's right. He insisted he knew everything that was going on in Kirkwall. He lied. I bet he doesn't even know everything going on in his pants.
Did you end up in Kirkwall because your ship was destroyed?
There was a storm. The ship ran aground on the reefs near the city. I managed to make it to shore. Most of my men weren't as lucky. Poor sods. I knew some of those men almost 10 years. Ah, balls.
If getting the relic gets Castillon off your back, then I'll help you retrieve it.
I still don't know where it is, but you'll be the first to know if I hear anything. Anyway, thanks for helping me out with Hader. I think I'll tag along for a while. There might be something I could do for you. And I have a room at the Hanged Man if you're looking for company later.
I thank you, Sirrah, for coming along when you did. I am Emmerich.
You're older than I thought you'd be. Ninette seems to go for the young, pointy-eared sorts.
What?
Ninette de Carac. I hear she got around. And you were asking about her, so I just assumed.
Preposterous. I was concerned that she was in danger, and that is all. However, the investigation has been a waste of time.
That sort of attitude will never pay off.
Ha! I was eager at first, but failure has leached all enthusiasm from me. This all started when Meren, one of our circle mages, disappeared. I found it odd. She was a bit older and hardly adventurous. Then I heard about Ninette and 2 other missing women.
I had a friend who disappeared once. Turns out he was under my bed, drunk. What?
I think the disappearances are connected, and I suspect foul play is involved.
Mages routinely flee the circle. Perhaps Meren just wanted freedom.
She had always been loyal. She received lilies from an unknown suitor, and some of us thought she may have gone to meet him. Perhaps her disappearance is linked.
Doesn't the circle use phylacteries to keep track of its mages?
We followed her phylactery to a foundry, but found nothing. I had heard of sympathizers smuggling mages through Darktown, so came here hoping to pick up the trail. But no trace of Meren. And as you've seen, asking the locals hasn't made me very popular.
Have you mentioned any of this to the city guard?
They say there's no proof the disappearances are connected. They think the women just left home, that it happens all the time.
People don't just disappear. Perhaps they were murdered or kidnapped.
We found no bodies, no ransom notes. Those women just vanished.
Don't you hate it when something goes missing? I lose things all the time.
What?
The women? They're missing and you can't find them?
Ah, right. I cannot lie, Sirrah. I tire of searching. This battle showed that I'm no longer the warrior I used to be. I know when to walk away. Here, take my findings. Perhaps you can make more use of them. I'm going back to the gallows. I'm too old for this.
A foundry in Lowtown. I should look into that.
I enjoy a man with markings like that.
You've enjoyed many, I suspect.
Where I come from, they're called tattoos. Sailors get them all the time.
Not made of lyrium, I'd imagine.
Not a one. And the pictures are different. Usually breasts.
I suppose a pair of lyrium breasts tattooed onto my chest would make things better.
That's me. I'm a helper.
Demons, summoned by another mage, no doubt.
Need a hand? Why, yes. Yes, I do.
A severed hand, a ring, and a pile of bones. Emmerich will want to see this. And I should bring the ring to Gisley. It might belong to Minette.
Ravani, stop looking at my chest. My eyes are up here.
But the chest hair...
Do you know how much I suffer under your gaze? I am a person, not an object.
Varric?
Just shitting you.
Recognize your mage? This was left in the foundry you mentioned in your notes. I was also attacked by shades.
These are human bones. Then there is no chance of finding Meren alive, or any of the others.
If they're not dead, watch out for a bunch of boneless women flopping through the streets.
Show some respect. I will bring this to the city guard immediately. It should be enough to convince them the disappearances are worth investigating.
Do you know a recruit named Karen? His sister is looking for him.
We cannot speak to you, Monsieur.
To the void with that. Karen and the others are missing.
But our orders...
The Knights aren't doing anything to find them. Maybe it's time to ask for outside help.
I wasn't even certain Karen was missing. Who else is gone?
The first ones disappeared weeks ago. There's been at least half a dozen. Wilmot and Karen were the most recent.
Why must you keep silent about Karen?
You obviously aren't a Templar, Monsieur.
A Knight Lieutenant gives you an order and you obey, without question. They told us not to breathe a word about Karen and the others.
They must have their reasons.
And that'll be a great comfort if you go missing next.
You're already defying orders to talk to me. Might as well share the good stuff.
I hear that Knight Commander Meredith has some new initiation you have to go through. If you're not strong enough or fervent enough in belief, you don't make it out alive.
Seems to me a weak Templar would die just as quickly.
And you honestly believe that?
Recruits keep going missing.
Wilmot came back.
What?
He did. I saw him this morning.
What else do you know about the initiation?
You hear about some... questionable things that the Order must do these days. The Knight Commander only wants Templars that can do... what must be done.
Andraste alive. She's killing recruits that might question her orders, isn't she?
That's rubbish. She wouldn't do that.
If Wilmot came back, he might know more about the other missing recruits.
I bet he would.
Wilmot told me he was going outside Kirkwall. Clear his head, he said.
Why didn't you tell us this?
Knight Captain Cullen ordered it, right before he chased after Wilmot. That wasn't too long ago. If you hurry, you may catch them on the road.
I shit you not, Ravani. It was this big.
There's no way. Impossible. I've had hundreds of those in my hands, and they're never that size.
Would I lie about something so critical?
What are you talking about?
We're discussing knives, of course. Well, daggers, technically. I never remember the difference. Why? What did you think we were talking about?
I couldn't bring back your wife, but here's a ring. It looks pricey.
Ah, Ninette's wedding ring. Yes. Look at the engraving. Forever faithful, forever yours. Ah. Written in happier times. Where did you find it?
It was on Ninette's hand, which was cut from her body. She's dead.
On her hand? Ah, I see. Well, maybe you should take this back. I don't want anything that might link me to her death. Especially with her family asking questions. No, they're going to blame me. I just know it. Excuse me, sir. I have arrangements to make.
Welcome, merchant. Well, good luck to you then. No loitering. I hope serendipity is working together.
Just keeping the peace.
Well, are you here to socialize, or did you bring my goods?
I rescued your boy and killed the coterie, but your property was long gone.
Coterie. I should have figured. They've got a lock on all trade with the dwarves. If I'd had someone decent on the job, they'd have dug into it first, not walked in blindly. Well, no cargo, no coin. If you're ever looking for more work, I keep my books right here. Feel free to sign yourself up. Avert your eyes.
Not much to see here.
I saw beggars this morning.
We should move on. We should move on. We should move on.
You know, Ravani, you promised me you'd tell me how you're shipwrecked.
I was drunk. I thought the reefs around the wounded coast were made of candy.
Oh, come on.
And a demon told me to do it. It bet me 60 sovereigns and a bottle of port. You're not the only one here who can bullshit, you know?
Make her turn his gaze on you, child.
Do you know anything about the Mage Underground?
From Hightown.
I know your face.
Here we go!
We'll talk later. Yeah, good times, wasn't it?
Go down! Come back here!
These warehouses are occasionally used to store things, but not just for clandestine
And here we
meetings.
go again. Making the world a better place, one enemy at a time. I'll deal with this. Get lonely.
In the market for something special, friend?
I wager you've a bright future ahead of you. Take this. More will come, as promised. May the stone look after you.
Good luck getting in. I've been waiting.
How dare you! I am guard captain! I won't be treated like this! Ferelden, bitch! This was none of your affair! I'll see you hanged! Quartered! This will not stand!
We found a number of debts to suspect peoples. Such poor character. But you, Avelin Valen, have proven your loyalty and ability.
The guard deserves better than him, Messire.
Indeed. The Viscount would have you put your care for the men into direct practice. You will assume the captain's job.
What?
In due time, of course. There will be training, approvals, months at least. But who better to rebuild respect than the woman who exposed this embarrassment? Resolve any outstanding business, guardswoman. You will be very busy.
If the deep roads is what you want, you have the coin to do it.